welcome back everyone, Toy Shiz here, and we are back yet again for another McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse news update. We're going to have some fun here today. We are going to be heading to Target for their Summer Geek Off event. It's every single Friday from now on. So just be prepared if you live on the West Coast to wake up around 5:59 so you can grab it at 6 a.m. Pacific and then 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you kind of get a break if you live on the East Coast. But I'll save you some time. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. Every single thing we're going to be talking about, I will be pre-ordering / grabbing. And for those of you that don't want to pre-order, well, you can head into stores relatively soonish and hopefully find these on the shelves. And with that being said, I'll just say, hell yeah, because, well, all the affiliate pre-order links for Target will be down in the description below. These are all exclusive / gold label, so hopefully you won't have that much trouble grabbing these. We all know how things kind of go these days. But like I said, all the links that you'll need will be down in the description below. So with that being said, we have Kiteman, and I just recently finished the new Kiteman show, the animation, and it was pretty good. I thought Darkseid was pretty hilarious. Like, the whole show is just so ridiculous, but it totally works for a character as ridiculous as Chuck Brown, Charles Brown, Kiteman. So I'm really stoked to have this character, an infamous Batman villain that's just all kinds of ridiculous. But let's say this, while it is a repaint figure, we all know this by now for McFarlane figures, but he looks pretty darn cool. I like the greens, the yellows. They've pretty much nailed the character. This is, of course, the comic book version. This is not going to be the HBO Max cartoon that is in line with the Harley Quinn show and everything else. But hey, it totally works, and it's pretty much the same thing. Use your imagination. What I like about this, though, is that you do get the big old kite, and then you have pretty much just the backpack itself without the overly cumbersome kite. So you have the option of swapping at your leisure. The big old kite is not cloth by any means. It's plastic. You get a couple extra hands with like a thumbs up. That's kind of cool. I totally dig that. Item holding hands, and then, like I said, the harness with the alternate look if you want the kite crammed in the backpack or not. So I would say that pretty much sums up Kiteman. That's pretty much all you need. And for me, watching the show recently, hell yeah. That's all I'm going to say. That's pretty darn cool. So, gold label, McFarlane Toys Collector's Edition Kiteman. If you like them, I got the pre-order link down in the description below now. So, moving on, and this is a big one for me as well, we're going to be having some Batman the Animated Series action. As we all know, the Batman the Animated Series line is a Target exclusive line. We'll say the last wave with Hardac and Poison Ivy and everything else, it's been kind of hard to come by. I'm hoping that they will have some more hitting stores or at least go up online, which never happened, but well, in the meantime, we have these now to pre-order. So the next wave, and straight from the classic two-parter, The Demon's Quest, we are getting he who is known as Al-Ghul. Not Al-Ghul like Batman Begins. It's Al-Ghul. I think we can all agree on that. David Warner said it best. I'm going with David Warner. What a voice on that guy. Again, if you're not familiar, McFarlane Toys is reissuing all of these. They're nearly, we'll say, 7 to 10 years old, depending on the figure. But Al-Ghul comes with the cape and every single green element to his costume that you would pretty much need. And it's funny, in looking at these photos, it dawned on me, I go, he's not wearing the suit, like the usual suit. Even Kenner Hasbro made the Al-Ghul in the suit. He's sporting that later first episode look where he's got that really low-cut shirt. You can see all the chest hairs, and then he starts clapping like a weirdo. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the episode. He also comes with his Anubis jackal head that is all kinds of creepy, but definitely needed. You got the big, long plastic cape. Good luck on the articulation on that. Comes with many swap-out forearms, and then, of course, the helmet, and then a pair of legs, and that's going to come in handy for the Build-A-Figure. So I'm really looking forward to Al-Ghul. He's going to make for a great figure, and if you need him, you can pre-order him now. Moving on, we have straight from the episode Vendetta, which is another great episode, introducing us to the world of Killer Croc. Waylon Jones in all his crocodile likeness right here, which in Batman the Animated Series, I like what they did with Killer Croc. And I really didn't know any better as a kid, but then in kind of seeing what they've done to him in comics, he's essentially become Spider-Man's lizard in many ways. I like this version of Croc. I do like what they did with him with TNBA to a certain extent, but this will always be the more classic look when I think about the character of Killer Croc. So he's going to have, well, some of that antiquated articulation on him. He's going to come with a couple extra hands, and then you get another character's head along with a pair of pistols and a knife for the Build-A-Figure. What would have been funny, though, is if he came with a big rock to smash Batman with. That would have just been the icing on the cake. But like I said, coming up, the second figure in the newest BTAS wave, Waylon Jones, Killer Croc. But wouldn't you know it, because I know a lot of you love those old platinum versions of some of these characters. For those of you who remember the TNBA box set Puppets of Crime, there was a green Killer Croc, along with the ventriloquist, of course, but this was their way of doing the TNBA Croc while utilizing the old Batman the Animated Series mold, and well, you kind of see where I'm going with this. So the Platinum Edition will be a green-colored Killer Croc to match that old toy. So this one, I'll tell you honestly, it's not going to be detrimental to your collection if you don't get them, unless you're like me and you like all that nostalgia, even though as a kid I looked at that and went, oh, well, that's the only way I'm going to be getting that figure anytime soon for my TNBA lineup. So, well, I guess we'll just have to go that way. Plus, you got a pretty sweet ventriloquist figure to boot. So there you go. The Platinum Edition of Killer Croc is the green Killer Croc. Moving on from the episode Beware the Gray Ghost, which is just a fantastic episode. We're getting Leslie Tompkins. No, no, of course, we are getting Simon Trent, the Gray Ghost. You have to say it like that every single time. The figure looks amazing. I am so stoked to get this figure. For whatever reason, it just really works within the realm of Batman the Animated Series, not only being voiced by Adam West, but then being a childhood hero to Bruce Wayne leading into Batman. So you kind of see the parallels there. He comes with some fantastic accessories like the motorized car with the bombs. That's amazing. He also comes with a pen hand, which is already sculpted in, and a copy of the Gray Ghost to sign. Basically, well, I wouldn't say it's DVDs, but it's definitely a VHS copy, that's for sure. Because as we all know, Bruce Wayne used to watch The Gray Ghost with his father before, well, tragedy struck. But the great news is also that he comes with his Gray Ghost pistol, so they're not shying away from that either. Fantastic accessories, great sculpt, and then you get a big old character torso to boot. So here he is, all packaged up, ready to go. Simon Trent, the Gray Ghost. And then moving on to our fourth and final figure. If you are a Batman the Animated Series fan, you're definitely going to know what the Combat Belt Batman is. Pretty much everyone's first Batman, unless you got the Jetpack Batman. But lo and behold, we have Classic Batman, which is an homage to the Combat Belt Batman. So he's going to have that kind of blue grayish color scheme that the original had. The head portrait, when they initially showed this, it still kind of looks the same, yet it still kind of looks like the usual Batman character heads that we've been getting. So I kind of reserve judgment till I see it in hand. Either way, kind of on the fence about it, but the cape is nice. I like the blues of the costume. I mean, if anything, the cape is this nice big billowy cloth cape instead of that taffeta thing that we've been getting for a while now with all these BTAS reissues. The other thing is that with the Combat Belt Batman, I really thought we were going to get all the cool Combat Belt action, but it looks like it's sadly not to be, and they opted more for yellow accessories for Batman, like the Batarang and the grapnel launcher, and then the hand with the yellow grapnel launcher. A couple extra hands to boot, the character and the pair of arms. So there you go. the classic Batman, aka Combat Belt Batman, from the original first lineup, the first wave of the Kenner Batman the Animated Series toys from way back in the 90s. Now, if you liked the Green Killer Croc, you might like this upcoming Platinum for this Combat Belt Batman, which is, of course, Nightstar Batman. That's right. So Combat Belt Batman is getting the black and gold motif with some red accessories to better match those accessories that the original Nightstar Batman came with. So again, not too detrimental if you don't get it. If you looked at my recent TNBA video where they're kind of doing the Kenner homages, the Hasbro homages and whatnot, this is kind of in that realm. So if you remember this figure, by all means, might be one for you. As a kid, for me back in the day, when I saw these really weird Batman variants, it didn't do much for me. But seeing something like this does play on that nostalgia because you don't see too much of it. You kind of see it with Spin Master from time to time and what they kind of did with their smaller figures. But yeah, it does make me look back on fonder days and go, oh, remember that? Those were like, well, $4.99, $5.99, Target, Toys R Us, Kmart, KB Toys, all that. So yeah, I get what they're doing here. So if you need a Nightstar Batman, the Platinum variant, you can keep an eye out for him as well. So that is basically a 4/6 figure wave if you want both Platinums. But if you get them all, well, the Build-A-Figure is quite awesome, I will say, darling, because this one comes straight from the episode Showdown, which works with Al-Ghul. And of course, I'm talking about the one and only Jonah Hex. That is a fantastic Build-A-Figure and one where I go, yes, please. That's quite amazing that they went that extra mile, that they're actually doing a character such as this. Now, truth be told, he's not going to exactly fit into the whole continuity of present Batman the Animated Series, if that makes any sense, because Jonah Hex's tale takes place in the 1800s. Al-Ghul was there, but he also had a sweet monocle and a top hat, and then he had Arcady, which was Al-Ghul's son. Regardless, it's pretty awesome that we're getting him because he has his full-on blue-gray Confederate outfit. He does have the holster, which the holster is on his leg, but it looks like the strap, one of the straps looks to be sculpted in, while the one that attaches to his belt, it looks to be kind of painted on. It kind of remains to be seen. But I love the coat. I think that looks pretty cool. You got the white hair. You got that Two-Face looking eye with the bit of the skin dropping down. Heck yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got a knife, you got two guns, and like I said, I'm totally stoked that we are getting a Build-A-Figure for Jonah Hex. Maybe we'll see others, hopefully, fingers crossed, if this wave does well, and I think they're definitely selling, so that's a plus. Maybe we get some more Build-A-Figures, huh? Which ones would you like to see? I know I got a list of ones. Maybe they'll get to it. That would be pretty darn cool. So if you are after any of the Batman the Animated Series Target exclusive figures, those pre-orders will be down in the description below, along with Kiteman. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for my quick look at all of the figures that will be going up for pre-order very soon. All the details will be down in the description below. All the links will be there when they go live, so they should be in and around, depending on when you see this video, Friday, June 13th, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. East, unless something changes. But yes, if you don't get them online, don't fret. You can go into stores and whatnot later down the road when they start to hit toy shelves. So again, I want to thank you all for being here. For all the fans of Batman the Animated Series, you definitely have something to look forward to. And for those of you who are fans of the Kiteman Animated Series, hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about. And until the next one, I will leave you guys with that. Adios, muchachos.